Hello everyone and welcome back to Crazy Bees. Well, today is a cleaning video and today we are going to be doing the video I have been promising you for a while, and that is doing different types of mopping, showing you different types of mops that you can use for your floors and give you an idea of how they work and kind of price points. Comparable. We can go from the cheaper things that you can use to the more expensive things that are out there on the market. I also have a few videos that I took of a couple of clients that I have. I don't even like calling them clients. They're more like my family. I love my people that I take care of. I've been doing this for over 30 years and they just all mean so much to me. So they are more like my family. But several of them have different steam mops and cleaning tools for their floors that I wanted to show you to give you different examples of different things that you can use. But like I had said in my previous video, when I'm at their homes, I don't talk on the videos, so I will have to do a voiceover on those. Just because I don't like interfering with their space. So I will be showing you those also. So what I've done is I moved my table out of the way, and I'm going to give you my top three, just like I did with the sweepers or with the vacuums. And but I'll give you variations of different vacuums or mops as well, but I will give you the top three that I have found work best for me over the last 30 years. So I'm just going to do a section at a time, because to do the whole floor is going to be way too long of a video, and it would actually bore you just watching me mop my floors with one tool. So I'm going to start in this section here with my most used favorite mop. This is my everyday run-of-the-mill mop that I use in all of my homes, and I would recommend it over and over and over again. Me using it commercially, I usually have to go out and buy a new one every 4 months. If I'm lucky, it'll go 6, but it's usually every 4 months. But we're gonna start with that one, so I'll get set up here and come back and show you that one. You guys, look at who's in my backyard. Oh my goodness, isn't he as pretty as a picture? I was filling up my mop bucket. Oh my gosh, he's literally giving you a 360 view of himself. Oh, his little female friend was here with him too. You know what he's doing though? Oh, and she's in the mulberry tree. Let me see if I can get over there. Okay, I have our first mop ready to go. This is the cedar mop system. So they have come out with newer ones. They also have a double mop system. I've never tried it. I've always just stuck with this one. I used to use the Libman ring mop, and that was cotton. And I used that for years, probably about 15 years. It was a great mop. And you could take the head off of it and wash it in the washer and put it back on. But I always had a problem with the metal pole rusting at the base where you clipped in the mop head. That was my main issue with that mop. But it was a great mop. It was the best one that I could find on the market for how much I use mops. I usually do 2 to 3 houses a day, and you know, you have all of those floors that have to be mopped. And also with cotton mops, they hold on to more water. You can't wring them out as well. So with this system, these are microfiber. Now, let's start with the mop itself. So when you get your cedar mop, they range from 30 to now like $42. You might be able to get it for, you're not going to get it under 30 for sure. But it comes with your handle, which is this right here. And when I put you on the tripod, I'll show you how that comes together. And this is your mop head where you connect your mops. And then when they first came out with it, this was the head that was on the mops right here. Just a plain white head with a hole in the center. And then the next one that they came out with was this one here with still the hole in the center. And then these red strings here, these are the scrubbers. So they have a little bit more of a scratchier texture to be able to scrub off things on your floors. And now the last one that they came out with was this one here. And it is covered in the center, which I like. And it's got a little bit of a scratchier surface because of the, you know, those red things. And then these are just like these ones over here. That's just your basic scrubbers. And they don't really feel any scratchier. So, but I've tried this one out. This one just came out a couple months ago, I believe. Well, it was the first time I saw it in stores anyway. So this is the one that I'll be using today. I've kind of switched to those. I kind of go with the newest thing when they come out with new things. And then over here is our mop bucket, okay? So when you fill your mop bucket, some of them have it, some of them don't. Right here, some of them say fill line, but what you want to watch out for is to make sure that your water stays below this spinner. This is a spinner for your mop, and I'll show you exactly how that works here in a minute. And then you can put whatever solution you want to in your water. You can use a vinegar solution. You can use any kind of floor solution that they sell at the stores. I have Mr. Clean in mine. I've tried Pine Sol before. It's way too strong. I've tried Myers and I've tried vinegar. The clients just don't always like the weird variations of smells. So I just put a little bit of Mr. Clean in, or if they don't want any smell at all, sometimes I'll just put a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in my water. That works. It's your preference if you do organic, if you do regular cleaners, whatever you choose to do in your system. The other thing that's very important, when you take your mop head off, because these are reusable, you take it off and you put it in your washer and you can clean it with your laundry detergent, but do not use softeners. And just like our microfiber cloths and stuff like that, do not dry them in the dryer. You want to just lay them out to air dry. So let me show you how this system comes together and how it works. Here is your mop head, and it's going to come closed like this. You're just going to you're going to open that up all the way, and you kind of go opposite with your hands and get it to tighten. And I make sure mine's pretty tight. The main thing that I've had issues with this mop is right here, this little rubber piece. After a while, it starts slipping out of this disc right here. If you're just using for home use, you probably will not have that issue. But with me using it so much, and I think it's because when I'm holding my mop, I tend to get a little bit lower, and I might actually be pushing on that thing. So then you put this on there. You guys, I keep watching for that cardinal. The video before I started doing this, there's a beautiful red cardinal that showed up in my backyard, and he's so distracting. It's like, I don't want to work now. I just want to go out and watch for birds. Okay, so now I'm going to turn you down here. Okay, and you see where the triangle is on this mop right here? You're going to line the head of this onto your triangle and just use your foot and push down on all three corners. If you heard that pop in there, that's it locking in. Okay? Then we're gonna take our mop. I would suggest wearing shoes, but you know I'm home and I get tired of wearing shoes all the time. Okay, you just put this in here and you just get that mop head wet. You're gonna take it up and you're gonna put it in the holder. Now you want all of your strings to go down flat. You don't want some of your strings hanging out like this or whatever. You don't want that. You want all those strings to go right in that hole, nice and secure. Then you got this little pedal right here. Keep your hand free. You're just kind of holding it here in space. Okay, you just don't want that mop head going on, that handle going all over the place. You're just gonna hold it, but you're not gonna have pressure on it. And you're gonna pump the pedal to whatever desired dryness you want. Now, if you're doing wood floors, I pump this thing and I really get it going. And I get as much water as I can out of that mop. See, I can do that and I don't hardly get any water out of there. And if you want it more, you know, even more, then just pump it more. But when I'm doing my tile floors, I want it a little bit wetter. I don't want it saturated. My pump is usually, I don't know, 5-6 pumps. And then you just kind of fling it out there, okay? Then we're gonna go over here where I'm gonna start, because I always start with my mopping in my corners and my edges. So I'm gonna start here on my edge. Oh, and the other reason that I really love this one, now there's other ones that are out there from, Libman makes one, but it's round. And there's another one from another company, I feel like it's Hoover. And anyway, it's a round also. The reason I like the cedar also is because it has the corner. The other ones don't have the corner, so it's not, you're literally, you know, you can get right into that corner with your mop. Now, when I had my Libman, my cotton mop, if I were to do this along my furniture without that mop being wrung out as well as it is here, I would have been staining my client's furniture. So I start in my corner, I do my edge, and then I start, you want to go with the grain of your tile. One thing, and the other thing with microfiber is you don't get the streaks that you get with a cotton mop. A cotton mop is going to leave more streaks. Microfibers do not. That's another reason I love this mop. The other thing is you want to go with whatever your grain is. This is tile, but I still go with the grain when I'm using anything to mop with, and it also helps with streak reduction. And then I go half over what I already did. So I make a line, I go half over that line, and then I just kind of go back and forth. And it's just kind of like a dance with my mop. And then when I get to where I have another edge, I do that. Now, look at that. See that? It works so good. I could probably actually go over my floors twice with the dogs and us going in and out with our cleaning all the time or our working out in the garden, and it wouldn't hurt a bit. But this just leaves everything so nice and so clean. And then that's about the coverage area that I do, and then I rinse again. So I'm going to finish this section and then we'll come back. Okay, now here we go with our number, well this isn't one of my favorites, but this is, for sweeping, it was one of my favorites. But this is the Norwex. We went over this one when we were talking about sweeping your floors. So when you're sweeping your floors, we went over this pad here, and this is the one that you use for sweeping. Now, Norwex has all different types of pads. So that one is for sweeping. This one is also for sweeping. And this one would be more for hard floors. The green one is better, I believe, for tile floors where you have grout and stuff like that, because it has those little things that stick out. So this one is more for your hard floors. And then this, I'm sorry, this is for your hard floors for sweeping. I mean, you can interchange them. You can use them however you want to. This is just how I use them. I use this one for sweeping on flat surfaces. This is the one that I use for mopping. If I were to be mopping hardwood floors or anything that's just flat surfaced, I would be using this. Today we're going to be using this one, and as you can see, it's got all the scrubbers on it, and I like using this excuse me, on my tile floors. Now, I only use my Norwex for mopping when I have company coming over. My floors aren't bad, and I'm like, I gotta clean up this area before somebody comes. Because otherwise, if I were to be doing this, my wrists would be done by the end of the day. Because you literally would mop like the space that I had just told you, have to take it off, go wring it out, bring it back, you know, and you have to do that over and over and over again. That would be way too much on the wrists. So I use this one when I just want to do some spot mopping. And it works great, and it doesn't leave streaks. Norwex is very good about not leaving streaks. So I decided I'm just going to show you guys this area again, just kind of with this one, just to show you, you know, it's got a longer pad than, let's see here. Okay, so you can see the pad really covers the platform very well, and it has excess space. So you're not going to be bumping into things. If you want to work your edge, you can work your edge without having to worry about, like this, you can do that without having to worry about scratching your baseboard. You can go along your bases. This has the corner, so you can get into your corners, and then you just go back and forth with it. And it covers very well, and you can get under things with it. So it works really well. So this is a good one for doing your everydays. You know, like I spilled something, I need to get it cleaned up. This is a great one for that. So our next one that we're going to go to is one of my other favorites. And I'm going to show you a section here, a different section for doing that one. I'm going to get that set up and we'll be right back. Okay. I always say okay, you guys. I don't know why I get on video and I'm like, okay, here we go. Oh goodness. Okay, this is my number 2 favorite. My number 1 favorite was the cedar mop. This one here is my number 2 favorite. This is the crossway. I'm going to aim this down a little bit. Okay. Now, this picks up and vacuums at the same time. Right here you have 2 different attachments, one for rug and one for hard floor. I always have it on the rug. Just because on the hard floor, because it drops a little bit more water with the hard floor attachment. So when you get it, it's going to come in different sections, but it's pretty easily put together. And then you're going to get different attachments, and you're going to get the water reservoir. This is your water reservoir with the head, and it goes back here. On the back of here, you have, if you're going to do a small area or if you're going to do a large area, you can buy the Bissell formula. I found that some distilled water, add a little bit of vinegar to it. My daughter gets this scented lavender vinegar, and it leaves a really nice smell in the air. Don't use any kind of soaps, chemicals, anything like that in there. You're going to suds up and it's just going to be messy. It's kind of like if you were to be using a rug doctor. If you were to put too much solution in your rug doctor, you would get that same effect. My head is probably getting chopped off here, but I want you to see the machine. So here's your large area right here, and then you fill it all the way up here to water, and then you fill from here to here with your formula. You don't want to go above that line. And then, you know, even with vinegar, I even got a little bit of suds. And then you put your cap on, and you just stick it in here and let it click. Did you hear that click? So when that happens, that's ready. Now, very important with this machine, when you are done with it, you want to clean it out every time, or you are going to get an odor, I promise you. So, you have your attachment here. Okay, Scarlett, they can't see. Come over here, Scarlett. Okay, here's your roller attachment, and it has this little thing right here that says pull. So when you're taking it out, you literally just pull on this to take it out. But when you're putting it in, you line up the opposite side of where you're sticking it in first. Scarlett, go. Stay. Okay, you guys. I'm trying to get her out of the way. Okay, you put in the opposite side first. Come on. Come over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay, I'm going to have to pet her with this other hand. Okay, so put that side in first, then put this in and click it into place right there. And then you're going to take your cover, and you got two little clips right here. And you're going to line those up with these holes down at the base. Could be a pain in the tuchus. And you're going to snap that in. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Okay, so we lined up the holes, and then you just push it in and click it in. Hear that? Okay. Now, I'm going to move you over. Well, what else do we have to go over first? Okay, it also comes with this right here. That's its holder. So when you're not using it, you want to put it in there so that it doesn't drip out water onto your floor. Because just like a shampooer, it, you know, is going to leave a little bit at the base. That was the other thing I didn't tell you about the cedar mop. When you're using that mop, it's an amazing mop, but it always tends to leave a little ring underneath your mop from when you're spinning. Some water must get out when you push that spin button. So if that's a problem for you, I never have it on carpet. I never set it on a rug. And if I'm on hard floors, I'll put a towel underneath of it. You know, a single towel. You don't want to double fold because then you're not going to be able to pump well. But if it's on tile, it's not going to hurt anything. So even if you're doing stone, you definitely want a towel underneath of it because you don't want it leaving any kind of ring on your stone. Okay, now you can see that I have got some bigger pieces of debris here. I've got one of Scarlett's shredded toys. I've got a little piece of napkin. There's a twig right here. Anything that's a little bit bigger, I just pick up because I don't want it getting into my hose and clogging up my vacuum. It's just better if you take a minute to pick up anything big that might potentially clog up your hose, okay? Then you just plug it in, and it never falters. I always tangle up my cords. Okay, I'm going to start here in front of you. There's no waiting for this to heat up. It's not a steam mop. It is it's called the Crosswave. And I use, let me show you one more thing here. Mine came with these 3 different brushes. This one has no scrubbies. This one is full scrubbies. This one I've never actually used, but it's for if you just want to scrub your floor, and then you're going to have to go back with another one and clean it. Whoops. This one has no scrubbies. This one would be best for like your wood floors, anything that needs a very soft surface. And then the one that I have in here that I have a spare of is this one here. It has the scrubbies and the soft cloth around it. You guys, I have something in my throat today. Okay, that's the one that I have on right now. So you literally just push it down with your foot. You hit the hard floor tool, and then right back here, if you can see that, there's a button. That's where you're going to be letting out your water. So you let out the water, and then when you're getting ready to mop. And then I'll show you. Same button again. So what I just did is pretty much vacuum the floor. You don't have to do that. You can mop and sweep at the same time, but I prefer getting the stuff off the floor first, all the big stuff, and then going back and mopping the floor. So then you hit the hard floor tool again, and you're going to see the light come on, and that's when your water's coming out. So I'm going to keep doing this for a little while because I want to show you guys just how dirty this water gets when you are sweeping or vacuuming and doing the mopping at the same time. 'em. Okay, so You're gonna have to excuse how dirty the floor is, but that's why I'm showing you how this works. Full disclosure, I do sweep out from under my cabinets, under my refrigerators, anything like that, because that does have a higher head on it. So you can't get, you know, way under things. So, and I don't like bumping into my stuff. So what I'm saying is you can go under here, but I don't like bumping into things, trying to get things out. I'd rather sweep it out first. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going with this kitchen. And you do want to go a little bit slower. You don't want to be going really fast because that brush needs time to do what it's supposed to be doing and what it was meant to do. And then also the other thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to bring this in really quick. Right here. Let's see. You can see that watermark right there. That's the mark that I was telling you that you're going to get when you shut off your system. And that's why it comes with that other plate, the plate for you to set the vacuum on when you're not using it. Because see, now you can see there's a little bit there, but it's not massive, but it's going to leave water spots. So you want to put it on its holder. Mopping and sweeping at the same time. Now, just like with everything else, you get a little bit of a harder space and it needs a little bit more than what your brush can do unless you want to sit there and scrub on it for hours. So you can do it either way. So now I have the hard floor button I'm holding. I don't have to hold that down, but I have my hand on the switch the whole time. And it drops water and sucks it up, drops it there, sucks it up when you're pulling back. Just holding the switch the whole time. So when you go forward, it'll drop the water. When you're coming back, it's sucking it back up. Now, if you just want to suck up the water, you keep your hand off the switch. So you just have it on hard floor and go back over. And then it's just sucking up water. It's not dropping any water. The only time it's going to drop water is when you have your hand on the trigger. Change your water, to dump it, this is how you do it. I'm going to bring it closer here. Right here is your switch, and you just push down on that clamp right there, and that'll loosen that right up. Then you're taking this off. I usually run this underwater each time, and then as you can see, just that little area that we did, look at that. It gets so nasty, so nasty. So I dump it in my toilet, and then flush my toilet, or you can dump it outside. And then when you're done with that, you just put it back in here and you clip it back into place. When this is getting low, it's going to go to a higher tone when you're out of water. So all you do is you pull it out of that reservoir and you will fill it just like we had spoke about before, put it back in, and you're ready to go again. So this is my number 2, the cross wave, and I am going to attach a video for another one called the spin wave. Oh my gosh, I want one. One of my clients has it and I love it. But I'm going to put a video of that on after this one so you can see what that looks like. We're going to go to our number 3. Okay, on this day, we are using what is called the spin wave. This is the one that I absolutely want to get. He said that his wife had got it, I believe, at Bed Bath & Beyond, but I need to check out and see if I can find that. I'm sure I can go on bissell.com and find it. Right now, I have wet pads on there, and I'm not even using the sprayer yet because I have the pads wet, so I didn't need to use the sprayer yet. You can see that you just literally go back and forth with this, and it has rotator brushes that spin to clean your floors. Now, if you hear, that is the area right there where you push to get out the water for the spray. So when you're having a drier floor, you would just spray every few inches. Here are the pads. These ones are scrubbing pads, and as you can see, they hook on the back end to the bottom of the spin wave. And these are the flat pads that are more of the buffing pads that I was using. And here is what they look like after I had gotten done scrubbing 3 rooms. And this is where I get the new ones wet to use on the spin wave. The number 3 mop for me is the steam mop. It comes in many different shapes and sizes. I am sure I don't even know half of them. I'm going to I'm going to show you my favorite, but this is not it. This is the one that I got for free when I ordered my vacuum cleaner, and it came with it. You can't beat free. It works, it steams, but it doesn't have a control panel. You cannot turn it on and off, and those are 2 major things for me. This is the reservoir for your water. I only use water when I'm using my steam mops. I do not put anything in my water, mostly because it is a steam mop. It heats up the water and it is supposed to kill bacteria, so you should not need cleaners in a steam mop. So this one here just kind of hooks into here and clips in, and then it has a pad, which I always get my steam mop pads wet before I start doing my steam mopping. It gives it a little bit of a heads up, and I don't have to wait so long. And when it first starts producing steam, and if this isn't wet right away, you start doing it and you're getting wet and dry spots. So I just get it wet, wring it out really well, so it's ready to go. And then you pop that on, and there's always going to be some kind of way for them to connect to your base. So here on this one, I was trying to line it up here. You can see where you got the round here and you got the flat here. Well, this is flat and this has more of a round. So that's how we're gonna line it up. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna plug this one in. I've only used this one a couple of times. So I'm kind of learning again on this one with you because I actually tried using it and it wasn't working for me. And then Tom did it and it worked for him. So we're gonna see. So I've got it plugged in and you can see now that the light is on. So now I'm pretty sure we have to wait for the steam to build up. Okay, do you hear that? That didn't take very long. And you can see how it's shooting out right through here. And then it has a pump action. So the more you pump, the more steam you're going to get. The more you pump, the more it's going to build up the steam. Okay, so that's this one, and as you can see, I can't control how much steam comes out, and there's no way for me to shut this off. So if I want to shut this off, I have to unplug it. The next one I'm going to show you is one that is, whoops, whoa. One of my ladies has, and I did a video at her house. It's a Shark steam mop, and it actually has a lift away attachment on it. You can take it off, and you can use, there's a hose attachment, which I could not find, but you can use that hose attachment to do your mattress pads, or your mattresses. You can use it for curtains, for anything that needs steam. You can use it on your clothes to get out wrinkles. That's what that part is for. And then there's the other part, and I show you how to put the pads and stuff on that. And again, that's going to be a voiceover because I was in a client's home. Mine is right here, and this is my favorite. This is called the Genius. And to fill this one, you open this up right here in front, and it comes with a pitcher, and you pour your water into the pitcher, and then you just close it up. It's got the 3 different levels if you want light, medium, or heavy steam. I go with heavy steam. And then on the pads right here, I'm going to drop this. There is a lever right here in the back, and you just drop that down, just like that. So you don't actually ever have to touch your pad. So what you're doing is, here's my pad right here. And I'm going to try to do it without to show you, but I ripped mine right here. So I might not be able to do it without touching it, but we'll see. You put the one end in, then you line up the other end, set it down, close the one end, flip it over, and snap in the other end. And there it is, ready to go. Then, when you go to turn this one on, and of course, like all steam mops, well, 90% of your steam mops, that other one that I got for free doesn't do this, but you can usually flip your steam mop one side and then the other, so you're using both sides of your pads. Okay, and let's turn this on. And first I gotta untangle my cord again. Okay, you can see where it's lighting up right here. Here's my button. You press it once, twice, 3 times to get your heavy steam. And then you just, it starts shooting out your steam, and you just start mopping. And you can hear how much steam is coming out of there with the heavier steam setting. You wouldn't hear that with the lighter steam setting. Hey guys, this little area of floor is getting really clean. Okay. So after this, I am going to, I keep getting up and down. After this, I am going to send you another video of another steam mop that's from Bissell. And it works well. It takes a little bit longer for it to get going, is usually my only issue with that. And the caps tend to want to break. They have like a light plastic coating. But you'll see, I'll talk to you about that in that video. So that is my three top mops. Is the cedar microfiber if you're using wet mop. If you're wanting to use a mop that picks up dirt and it mops at the same time, you would want something like the Crosswave. And if you want something that's going to kill all your bacteria and give you that heat that you're looking for, you want to go with your steam mop. So I hope that these videos were able to help you today, to give you a better idea of what you're looking for in your mops and how to use them and put them together and all that fun stuff that we need to do to keep our floors clean. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for spending time with me. Bye-bye. Okay, here is another one of my clients' steam mops. This is another version of a shark. This is an older version. So on this one, you have this pad right here, and it goes with this guy here. So what I do is I get this wet and then I put it on. How you fill this one is on the back side. It's got this thing right here, water reservoir, and you just fill that up with water. I usually use distilled water in my steam mops. If you don't have distilled water, you can use your reverse osmosis or bottled water, but distilled water is the best. The least amount of minerals that you have that can collect in your lines, the better. As you can see, there's lines that run through here, and then they reach out into here for that steam. So when those get clogged up, if they get clogged up with minerals, that's what's going to ruin your machine. So I'm going to get this prepped and come back and show you how this one works. Okay, now once you got it inside this, you just take that flap and pull this one over top of that and lock it into place on both ends. And that's what stabilizes it, so it doesn't come off of this when you're going back and forth with the machine. Okay, and then we are going to fill this reservoir with some water, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, I'm back. I couldn't figure out why this wasn't working, and it's because I have my vacuum plugged in and not this. So here, again, this is the lift away, and if you want more, You can see that this will go to different lengths, but what's going to happen here is this right here has an attachment where you can put a hose attachment or a steamer attachment, and you can work this on your curtains. You can use it on clothes, anything that you want to steam. So you're literally, you push this button right here and you can watch this. See how it lets out? That's how you get your steam. Now, if you want a higher steam, you just go to the higher level. Oh, that was low. Here we go. And you can see that steam coming out. So that's a pretty neat feature. The other thing that I wanted to let you know is on these heads and any other steamer heads, when you take them off and you put those in the wash, you wash them with detergent, but do not put any kind of fabric softener in your machine, and do not dry them. You want to dry them, air dry them. And when you're doing this, when you're doing your mopping here like this, and that side, that pad gets dirty, you literally just flip it over. And see, now you can see you're using the back side of that mop. So once one side is dirty, you flip it over to use the other side. So you're getting full range with this steamer. This is a good steamer, as I said. I would recommend it. It's cost effective. So this is the Shark Lift Away. You can get it off of Amazon or off of shark.com. I think it's sharkclean.com. This here is the Bissell vacuum. This is the one I was talking to you about, that you have to wait until that stops blinking like that and you have a clear color to be able to move it from light to heavy steam. I am currently using it in a bathroom, and you can see how the shine on the floor shows where it is wet. It also comes with these discs that are scented, and there's a little pocket inside of your pad that you simply slip those discs in. These are good steam mops also. Have a great week, you guys.